We are those of Laitos, and we greet this circle humbly in the light and the love of the one infinite Creator. We are grateful to be among you and grateful to perceive the vibrations present, the eagerness to seek and to embody more and more that matchless love and eternal light of the infinite Creator. We commend each in the circle for its sincerity of heart. We understand the path to becoming an instrument of this kind may be arduous at times. However, we assure you that with continued dedication and consistency to the method and to the process, you will indeed be able to connect with those of us within this confederation and transmit harmoniously those vibrations of love and light. We understand the excitement and the passion and desire with which to express this faculty, this overwhelming urge to be of service in this way. We understand. We encourage each to continue on in the study of those who have come before you, of their methods and practices, to learn of them well. For in the following of the footsteps, in the paths, in the workings, and the methods that your brothers and sisters have endeavored, that you too will find your path into this faculty more fully and from a stable foundation. At this time, we will pass our vibration among you, providing a more intense conditioning for the vocal channeling faculty. And we offer, if you are familiar with the method that we of the Confederation respond to when an instrument reaches out, then perform this, and after the channeling, we correct this instrument. The challenging, share the words that we speak through you. We are those of Laitos, and we begin our transmission of conditioning with you all. We transfer our contact to the one known as Dan, requesting only the receptivity of our light love and the relaxing into that presence of harmony with us. It is far more easy to transmit and connect with our vibrations when the understanding that we are dear friends and family is rooted and accepted by the self. We transfer the contact to the one known as Fred, offering our unique conditioning that the faculty of channeling through the hands, through the written word and or imagery, that this faculty may be activated more fully with this burgeoning instrument. We transfer the contact to the one known as Ed, thanking our brother Edward for their continued service, offering less the vibration of conditioning and more the vibrations of light, love, nourishment for the weary mind, body, spirit complex. We understand the energetic toll sometimes is apparent during these workings. And we transfer our contact to the one called Andrii by this instrument, offering our conditioning vibrations, offering our acceptance of this mind, body, spirit complex's willingness to be an instrument, and also the instruction to become quite familiar with our vibrations and with the method that is used to activate the connection between ourselves and those on your planet. We thank you, our brothers and sister, for allowing us to offer this service, and we leave you where we always find you, in the love and light of the one infinite creator. Adonai. I am Oxal. We greet you in the love and light of the one infinite creator. We are pleased to join you this evening. There are many vibrations traversing your planet at this time. It is quite a sight to behold. It is as though a great wave were rolling across the surface of your Gaia. And yet, these great waves, this tumult of vibrations, is the collective consciousness movements of you all. Your emotions and thoughts are coalescing in beautiful and chaotic ways. And so at this time, we would offer the brief message to this planet to find the time to breathe more, to sit in the stillness and breathe. You may envision yourself breathing with us, filling your bellies and emptying them gently. Stillness and breath will be very helpful for you at this time. You are as the baked good in the oven, and the heat is rising. The dial has been turned and set to broil. Nevertheless, this aids in your rising as the baked good known as pie. This heat, this intensity, this tumult, it aids in your rising. It aids in the ripening of your crust and extracts the sweetness from the fruits within you. But you must breathe if you can, our beloveds. Know that we are with you always, that you have help among us, and we always answer when you call. We offer our vibrations of love, light, and service to this circle, to this collective on earth at this time. We are more active among you within your inner planes. We are more active on your world, aiding and holding the line, so to speak, with those who are of service in every way that they can be. At this time, we would ask if there is a query on the heart of this circle. We are those of Oxal.
Hello, Oxal. I have a small query, if that's okay to ask.
We are happy to address your query, our brother.
It's in relation to the all these different traditional practices. Say like the Tree of Life or the Tarot or any of these things that we've used traditionally to kind of guide us spiritually on this process. Now we're moving into 4D. Are those archetypes going to change? Is there going to be extended ones? Is there going to be extras added on to kind of help us guide us through the next steps of this transition? I hope that was coherent. Very sorry.
We are those of Oxal, and we believe we understand the thrust of the query. From our perspective, there will be the translation of your existing bodies of soul study, such as the tree of life, the archetypes, as you call them, those elements that aid you in understanding the unconscious and subconscious evolutionary process that you use to develop your mind, body, spirit complex, these will carry over into your fourth density experience. However, there will be the expansion, as you surmised, that accounts for the increased level of awareness and the density of light more fully infused within your body template that will allow you to express in more exotic and multifaceted ways. With those abilities come an additional need for material that allows you to understand the processes behind how those bodies and how the consciousness expresses itself in those fourth density layers. However, there will also be, in addition to expansion of what you currently understand in third density, an entirely new set of, we would call them schematics, diagrams of learning that are unique to fourth density and that you currently have not come across and has not been expressed in third density in any form as of yet. Is there a follow-up to this query, our brother?
My question would be, in that case, how would the inspiration for this material occur? Would it be channeled through somebody, and they'll just be inspired to do it, or will there be a process where it's always worked out? Like, you know, what is it, intuitive, or is it kind of logical? I suppose is the question. And could we do anything to start that process now?
We are those of Oxal, and we perceive that for your individual natures, there will be a plethora of insights and intuitive sharings. You call these here the downloads. There will be many of these for each incarnation expressed in fourth density that guides and aids them in unique ways of understanding their own beingness and what is required to advance within this new arena of experience. However, there will be overarching materials shared from those of higher densities, such as ourselves, general templates, we could call them, that we will transmit telepathically, that you may consider them and they may aid you in understanding the processes occurring within you in your new bodies, so to speak, as well as the dynamics of change within your quickly coalescing social memory complex at that time. And so we can say it is two parts. One, your intuitive guidance nudging you this way and that way and revealing information for your own evolution. There is a high probability that many of the insights will be shared among you in smaller groups, and you will expand on this together. And in that communal expansion, an entirely new template of teach learning will evolve, and you may package this, so to speak, and offer it as service to those who eventually will require your specific service at the planetary level. And then the other part is our information that we share with you, those of higher densities, we mean. Some will be from us specifically, but there will be many other higher density entities of like vibration who will be working with you as well, sharing this general template as well to aid you. Is there a possibility to develop these new systems of teach, learning, understandings of the fourth density condition and evolutionary path while still incarnate in 3D? We do not see that currently expressing itself at this time in a way that we feel would be accurate to what fourth density is. Nevertheless, we do not reject any human's attempt to create that which would be of service in any density. We will always encourage the sincere service springing from creativity. Does this satisfy the query?
Thank you. That was really insightful. Thank you so much.
We thank you.
If I may, I would also, offer myself as service to receive any of that information. Even I know that you said that it wouldn't be coming through fourth density, but even if there's anything that could help give us a head start, I'm more than happy to take that responsibility.
We are those of Oxal, and we call to mind this idea that as you speak, so it shall be. Hence, we see that as the individual shares their desire vocally, this sends out a vibration into the field to attract that which you have declared that you wish to achieve. We are showing this instrument a quote from our brothers and sisters of Ra that mention the faculty of will being most efficacious for the manifestation of desire. Hence, as you have said, our brother, so shall you have.
Thank you. I'm really thankful to be of service.
We thank you.
Hi, Oxal. Thank you. I do have a question Um, Recently, I heard something to the effect of there's probably 8 billion people on the planet Earth, and probably somewhere around 300,000 oversouls. I was wondering if you can help clarify that as to the accuracy and the meaning of it also in terms of how that fits. Uh, and I might have more queries from that, but I'd like to start my understanding from that point. Thank you.
We thank you, our brother, for this question. Though, as you may have noticed, those of us within the higher densities tend to struggle with the human concept of numberings and timings for the lens we view reality is very expansive to the point where numbers often become quite meaningless. And so we understand the concept of the 8 billion precious entities in existence on your Gaia. However, the translation, the restriction of the 300,000 from that is not clear to our perception. We understand the nature of your peoples to be multifaceted and of an unlimited nature. We would say that for each of the one incarnate comprising that 8 billion strong pool of souls, that each spark of the infinite creator has at its highest level a mind, body, spirit totality. Hence, the restriction of that 8 billion into a what you call smaller number is rather confusing from our viewpoint. Do you have a follow-up to this query, our brother?
Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate the response. Um, a sort of related question. Um, as we progress in our spiritual journeys from density to density, or even before that, I was wondering if there's any sort of merging going on as well, um, where we unite with our souls, but do we also maintain that individuality? Uh, Thank you. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but I appreciate any insight or response to that. Thank you very much.
We are those of Oxal, and we appreciate the query. We believe we understand the gist of it, we would agree that even now there are many aspects of the human currently in activation in this space-time on this planet, that there are many other fractals is the word we would use. There are many fractals of the self that are in other layers of experience. What they experience, you might perceive as a separate incarnation, and yet there is a full circle, there is a holistic rhythm to the activation of all of these fractals of self, in that you would perceive them. We correct this instrument. We would perceive them as simultaneous. There is a point of awareness that coalesces at what you would perceive to be the top, that you would perceive to be at mid sixth density, this being the culmination point of all of the fractals' accumulation of wisdom and love, of the balance between the two, of the understanding, of the unification of polarities. And from this point, an additional and endless cascading down back through the fractals from that point of the culmination is a whole other process that simultaneously occurs as the fractals simultaneously experience their individual frames of reality. Hence, you, where you stand, any individual where they stand currently in space time, know that there are countless other aspects of the self in what we would call different angles of that same space time limitation, experiencing a third density existence, perhaps not on Gaia, most likely not on Gaia, other worlds, you would call them, other times, you would call them, other genders, other species, you would call them this, we would call them other fractals of the one soul, this in third density. And then there is a prior fourth density expression, and a series of fractals undergoes various experiences at that level. And then going a layer up would be the fifth density aspects, fractals experiencing various layers of that density. And so what we are trying to convey is a stacked and nested geometric layer of fractals upon fractals, layer upon layer.
What are some good practices for seeing love and light in every moment?
We thank you, our brother, for the query, and we will address as soon as we complete the description of this brother Dan's query. And so we attempt to express this layer upon layer of fractals of soul at every density, expressing and spreading one on top of the other until the point where you have your sixth density beingness, which inches ever closer to the seventh density expression. The closest image we can give you of this process is the image recorded in your Eastern understandings of the chakra called Sahasrara. This is the diamond 1,000-petaled lotus. If you can see this 1,000-petaled lotus of diamonds spinning, reflecting, moving, this is what we see you all as. Does this satisfy the query?
That was really beautiful. Thank you so much. Your words and just really helped me carry through and understand that uh, better. So I appreciate that. And thank you for that vivid imagery of the diamond. Well, yeah, thank you. That's all I have.
We thank you, our brother, for the query, and we appreciate your consideration of our often verbose and complex explanations, and yet this is the best that we can do from our vantage point, stepped down into 3D terms through this instrument. We are those of Oxal, and we would ask for our brother Andrii to repeat their query.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was muted before. Um, yes, how can or what are some practices we can use for seeing everything as love and light?
We are those of Oxal, and we are again with this instrument. We can only repeat that which has been repeated innumerable times to those of your world, and that is that meditation, the sitting in the silence and opening up to the infinite intelligence, the one infinite creator, that this is perhaps the most potent manner to being able to see love and light in all within and to express it. There is an indescribable process that occurs when the mind has shut out the external noise of the third density illusion as it occurs during the silent meditation. there is a process that activates within the self that calls to all aspects of the self's higher awareness when in meditation. This time is extremely valuable, for it begins to open a channel to that great mystery, and that great mystery begins to spill out into the reality, into the mind of the self. Meditation offers the cool down period for the often busy conscious mind, filled with, again, third density, illusion, baggage. In meditation, the self is able to put this down, and the true nature of mind can come forward and begin the working. This is why, for some, we know the meditation may be scary. For certain memories and images and emotions bubble to the surface, and this may be of a tumultuous nature, and the self may not want to contend with those experiences. However, this is the beauty of the meditation, for it is better for it to come out in this way, where the self can gently consider what is coming through, gently use the tools of compassion, patience, understanding, balancing, forgiveness to address the memories, energies, and emotions that perhaps have wounded the soul. This is the better process, for if the body is to process these emotions and traumas, if the reality is to aid in the process of these traumas, these imbalances, it is often more intense and more chaotic, and we would wish less suffering for you all in this inner working. After a certain point, there will be what we can describe a still point that is reached, where the memories, emotions, traumas, and so on will not come forward during the silent meditation. And here is where the experience of the great mystery becomes more expansive, more exotic and exciting. This is where the sensations of no time, no space, no limitation comes in and fills you with that bliss and joy of the infinite creator's beingness. Only meditation can do this. The closing off of the self to the third density experience. The reading of materials is good. The contemplation of words is good. But the silence is golden. Is there a follow-up query, our brother?
Thank you. Yes, that resonates. And yeah, the follow up is, what form of catalyst or messaging is most productive for helping people polarize service to others?
We are those of Oxal, and we receive the query. As our brothers and sisters have shared in prior gatherings with this circle, there is no true method to mold or conform or overtly influence your other selves to make a choice of polarity. All have free will, the freedom of choice, and an other self cannot take that process from an other self. In the personal work, we would call it, in the knowing the self, in the accepting the self, which includes the sincere, continuous, and dedicated attempt to balance distortions, to heal the wounded and enshadowed portions of being. In this inner work, the incarnation will naturally find the ways of which to be of service. They will be drawn towards them as a magnet. If the self has discovered love unconditional and forgiveness unconditional within, they will naturally offer this to other selves. Thus, the best thing that an incarnation can do for other self, that they might see the vibration of one who is service to others and emanating that polarity of love and light, the best that they can do is work on themselves. The vibration of control is at odds with the service to others polarity. There will be an imbalance if an other self dedicated to the positive polarity attempts to manipulate an other self to choosing a specific path. This method is not in harmony with the distortion of genuine service to others. Does this satisfy the query?
I guess so.
We would say that love is the greatest service one may offer another. Love unconditional.
So what I heard is that sharing the unconditional love and the experience that one has of the service to others experience is the best catalyst for other selves to also experience the opportunity to polarize service to others should they so desire it. Is that correct?
We are in agreement with your assessment.
Okay. Thank you.
We thank you. At this time, we will depart this vessel due to waning energies. We thank you, our brothers and sister, for the commitment to the positive polarity, for the commitment to Gaia, for the commitment to your 8 billion brothers and sisters, and the many billions of smaller life forms that are attempting to become third density as you are. Love is the key here, our brothers and sisters of Earth. Love is the name of the game, as you would call it. We leave you now, where we shall always find you, in the matchless love and eternal light of the one infinite creator. Adonai.